Today we will start chapter 6, tool support for testing. So whenever we do any testing activity, we need to use any kind of tool, and that will be a tool support. For testing, if you are using Excel to write test cases or prepare requirements matrix, prepare test plans, then the Excel would be a tool for you. Yes. So these tools can be divided into different categories, and we will discuss these things in this chapter. So the purpose of tool support, why do we need to use tool? Yes. So you can say, why do we need to use tool? One, improve efficiency of test activities. Improve efficiency of test activities. Yes. So how you can improve the activities? As for example, I give you example, if you are making dough for chapati, you make it manually using your hand. Yes. For two people it's fine. For five people it would be fine. For 10 people you will struggle. For 20 people it will be the most struggle for you. Yes. But what if you have a tool which makes the dough? Yes. Understood. So the tools can be used to automate repetitive task. So as for example, you are testing, and when you are testing registration screen is an example I wanted to say. So if you find a defect in this registration screen, you need to retest the same thing over and over again. Yes. When you are doing regression testing, in regression testing, you repeat the same test cases over and over again. So it becomes repetitive. When it becomes repetitive, you get bored. And when you get bored, you make mistakes. Yes. So if you use tool to automate repetitive tasks, it increase or improves your efficiency. Supporting manual activities. Any activity you are doing manually, it will take more time. Yes. So the same activity, if you do by tool, you can do it quicker. So it improves the efficiency. Next, automating activities that require significant resources. Automating activities that require significant resources. So, as for example, you are doing regression testing. In regression testing, you will execute n number of test cases for n number of times. Yes, and that's why it needs significant resources. So, you can automate it, and that's why regression testing is the best candidate for the automation. Next example I can give you is the volume testing. Yes, or the stress testing or the load testing. In this different kind of testing, you need to have n number of users doing n number of transactions. If you are going to do manually, how many users you will need? Yes, so you automate them. So automating activities that require more effort, you can say, significant resources. Automating activities that could not be done manually. Automating activities that could not be done manually. Some of the activities like performance testing you are doing, how much time it is going to take? because it is time related. Yes. Can you do performance testing and verify how many microseconds it has taken with human? I know. So the performance testing should be automated, like performance testing. These activities very difficult to do manually. Increasing reliability of testing. It increases the reliability of testing. I have given you one example. If you are doing regression testing manually, what happens? You will make more mistakes. Yes, these tasks are monotonous, boring, doing the same repetitive activities. I should not use, uh, and because of that, you get bored and you make mistakes. That reduces the reliability of the product. Yes, another example is automating large scale data comparisons. You have n number of data to be compared with n number of different data. Then it becomes very difficult with the human eye to verify and compare it. Yes, and doing manually. So these kind of things can be automated. This is the purpose of using tool for test activities or using tool support. Any questions so far?
No.
Next one, classifications. As I said earlier, the tools are used for different activities. As for example, if you use a tool Excel to design the test cases, write the test plan, then it will be part of test planning. Yes. If the developers are using the same tool, it would be for a different purpose. Then it will have a different purpose. So based on the tools used, we can classify them. So some tools are for management, managing testing activities, managing test test activities. These tools are known as test management tools. Yes.
Yes.
Any activities you do during the development life cycle, they apply to all activities in the development life cycle. The developers might be using, testers might be using, the means test holders might be using, yes, stakeholders,
Yeah.
the managers might be using. So these tools are known as test management tools. Best one of the tools are ALM and Jira. ALM stands for Application Lifecycle Management Tool. Application Lifecycle Management Tool. Okay.
Yeah.
Jira is also application lifecycle management tool, but if you Google Jira, it will say Agile Test
Okay.
Management Tool. If you say Jira, just Google it, Jira, then it will come see
Yes. Wait.
Agile Software. Yeah, it says it clearly didn't mention, but it says it bug tracking and agile project management. Yes, so here say
Yeah.
agile project management clearly mentions that. Yes, so Jira is also a management tool, but it is mostly used in agile projects, and that's why it is called agile project management tools. There can be different. I have used a few other tools, but they are the management tools. But just we need to know that. Static testing. Another tools are used for static testing. If you use tool for static testing, it reduces your cost. So it's a cost effective way of finding defects earlier in the life cycle. Yes, effective way. Next tool, test design and implementation. You use tools to design your test cases. Then this specific tools would be test design and implementation tool. You can use Jira and ALM for literally everything, okay? For
Yeah.
test case design and implementation strategy. Next, test execution and logging. Test execution and logging. One of the best tools here, is Selenium is a free tool. Yeah, so you can use Selenium for the test execution. So whenever we talk about test automation, we think execution only, but literally in tool support we use most of the tools. Yes, so Selenium is test execution tool, and we use for automating the test cases. So it's a test automation.
Yeah.
Performance and monitoring tools. The tools are used for performing or performance testing and monitoring the test activities. These tools are known as test performance tools. Specialist need. Sometimes we need to test the tools for some specific purposes, and these tools are known as specialist tools, like for security testing, etc.
So based on the activity, we have to decide tools.
Yes, based on the activities you are going to do, you need to select the tool and use. So how we
Mm,
can classify these tools? Tools are classified according to the testing activities they support. Yes, this is the
yeah.
answer. The tools are classified according to the testing activities they support. Any question?
No.
If you use Excel to design the test cases, then Excel will become test
Tool.
design tool. If you're executing manually and entering all the data and maintaining in an Excel statement, then it will become your test execution tool. You can't do
Yeah.
performance testing with Excel, okay? So for
Okay.
performance testing, you can use National Robot, like different tools are available for performance testing. Any question?
No.
Let's go to the next one. The next topic discusses about management of testing and tools, possible interfaces, how they interact these tools with one another. Possible interfaces. Like you have a test management tools, or you can say ALM tools, here application lifecycle management tools. They have just used the name for this activity. So this particular tool can be configured or integrated with one continuous integration tool. Continuous integration tools. These tools are used to continuously maintain the project, so it becomes quicker and easier for the releases. Like we call it CI/CD pipeline. So there are some tools called Concourse and Jenkins. They are used for continuous integration activities.
So
Yeah,
the Bridges way.
yes,
So one tool integrate another tool,
yes. You can link one tool with another tool,
like test management tool is
or,
also integrate continuous integration tools
or you
like
can,
that.
if you want to understand, you can say the test management tools. They will have these features. They will
Okay.
have these interfaces. Yeah. So
Okay.
continuous so you can maintain your activities here, so you can maintain your progress. Yeah? Defect tracking tools. You can maintain and manage the defects in these tools. Yes. Requirement management tool. This requirement management tool manages the requirement.
Okay.
All the requirements, you are going to store the requirement statements in this requirement management tools. And the last one is configuration management. Yes. So
Okay.
you have this configuration management tools.
Okay.
In this, you can store all the versions of the bills you have, all the documents you can store and maintain them. That tool is known as configuration management tool. Any question?
No.
Let's go in detail about requirement management tool.
Okay.
What this requirements management tool do? They store requirement statement. Yes. Go to London means you say the purpose, say pass, why I put pass the ball to another candidate once. Okay, this becomes a requirement. It's one statement. So, as for example, you say the user is able to log in into the system successfully. This will become a statement, requirement statement, and it will be stored. Yes,
Yes.
you can store them as a one. Store requirements attributes. It also stores requirement attributes. Yes,
Yeah.
the requirement will have priorities. Yes, so you can store the priorities there. How important is the requirement? So you can say critical or whatever level. You can give that state to the requirement statement. Owner, who is the owner of the requirement? You can state. And the source. You can store the source of the requirement. From where this requirement has come? From which document? Yes. Anything the source will be stored as well. So in future, if you want to investigate, you can easily do this. Next, enable traceability. Do you remember what is traceability?
We
These
can.
tools are used for traceability activities. Go on.
Yes.
What is traceability?
We can track the tools activity.
No, here is a traceability. It's a standard word for traceability. I have explained and we discussed. It has nothing to do with the tool, but this tool is used for your traceability activities. Yes? Do you remember? These tools are used to map the requirements with the test cases and test case with the requirements. So in tool, what you need to do, it's a very easy thing to do. You can download ALM for some time. It is free. You can download Jira. It's free for some time. So what happens in that? You have a requirement statement. Yes.
Yes.
So you might have designed some test cases for that requirement. Yes. So
Okay.
you link these test cases with this requirement statement and this becomes traceability.
So it means we can identify requirement and test cases.
Not identify. It's easy to understand link.
Link.
So you can trace them how many requirements are covered and how many requirements are not covered. This is for the coverage.
Okay.
Yes, may help with identifying inconsistent or missing requirements. This tool, requirement management tool, will help you to identify inconsistent and missing requirements. How? If you are storing the statements there and the same statement is coming in a different way somewhere else, so you can say it is inconsistent. Yes, when you generate the report,
Yeah.
it will identify and tell you.
Yes.
If any requirement is missing, then how you can identify? When you are storing this requirement statements, you will logically be able to know that you need step this from after this requirement, so some bit is missing. Yes,
Yes.
so you can store this and find out some missing requirements as well. Any question?
No.
Next one is defect management tool. What is defect management tool? Can you explain?
Defect?
Yes, defect management tool. What tools?
When we cover the defect and we have to mitigate them.
No, defect management tools just manages the defects.
Just manage.
Just
No
manages
mitigate.
the, you can store the defects, you can change whatever it is defects are there, you can manage the defects there. So what is the store? Just get me one answer one here.
Okay.
हाँ बोल हाँ बोल हाँ એ જોયું મેં કાર લઈને ગયા છે નહીં ગયા તો હિતને શું ખવડાવવાનું ઓકે વાંધો નહીં ચાલ તો મૂકું તો sorry. So what it does, store incident reports. It stores the incidents, you can say they are the defects. Yes, incidents you can say, and manage them. Manage the incidents. Defects, these are the second different word. Yeah. So whenever you find a defect, you will raise a defect in this defect management tool. So how can you manage this? Store and manage the defects like failures and defects. Yes, you can say you got storing failures and defects. Change request. If there is any change, you can store their change request. Yes.
Okay.
Pursue problems and anomalies. If there is any problem is there, you will raise an incident. Yes. So you can manage these things. Anomaly means if there is an inconsistency difference between expected and actual result, you can say. Management of defect life cycle. You can use this tool for management of defect life cycle. How? What is the management defect life cycle? You find a defect, which will be a new defect. Yes,
Okay. Yeah.
somebody will fix it,
Yes.
and you retest and regression testing. This comes in the defect life cycle. But what are the attributes related to this defect? So you can store defect density. Yes, so you can say defect severity, priority.
Yes.
Yes, so you can assign these defects with a priority and severity. Updating the status. You can update the status. How? New, open, whatever it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Fixed, retested, etc. etc. status. Statistical analysis. This tool can be used for the statistical analysis. So, how many defects are there? How many defects are fixed? Yes.
Yes.
How many defects are open? These tools are also known as defect tracking tools. The main purpose of the defect management tool is to maintain and manage the defects. If you use Excel to store and maintain and manage the defects, this tool will become defect management tool. Means the Excel will become defect management. Yes. Any question?
No.
Next, continuous integration tools. These tools are used. So, what is the continuous tools? Build and test software continually. Continuously means yes. Build and test software continually. So, what in this tool? You integrate your changes and constantly test these softwares using this specific tool. So one of the tools is Concourse and Jira. One of the tools is not Jira, Jenkins. So in Jenkins, you have the store, so you can continuously integrate your changes with the tool. So when you want to execute these test cases, you don't need to worry too much. You just click on one button and all these test cases will be executed. Yes. So how it is easy? Easier for developers to integrate changes. You can easily merge your changes to these tools for developers to integrate changes. Yes. Easier for users to get fresh bills. Easier for users to get fresh bills. Yes. How do you do this? So I say that your code is there. Now you are using one of the tools to merge your code to this specific tool. So it is easy. You just click on one push button and the code will be merged to this particular specific tool. And when you want to execute it, now it is merged. So you want to push it. Somebody pulls it and you want to push it exactly. Now pull it. Somebody pushes it and you are pulling it. So you just click on one pull. It will fetch all the changes to this tool. So I am working in my specific branch. The other guy is working in the specific branch. Yes.
Yes.
So in this case, what you do? I am working, my work is done, so I will push it. So it will be there in the specific tool, but until and unless you pull it, it won't be there. So some users you want to do, you are using, you pull it, so the changes will automatically be there. So it becomes easy to maintain. CI, what is the meaning of CI? CI means integrate code into a shared repository several times a day. Yes, integrate code into a shared repository several times a day. So whenever you make any changes, you can push your code in a standard library. It's called repository, and the code will be stored there. Yes.
Yeah.
Each check is in verified by a build. Yes. What is this? This is important. Each check in is verified by a build. Whenever you make any changes, it will be checked as a new build. Yes.
Yeah.
Allows early defect detection. Allows early defect
Attention.
detection. So what happens when you are merging the code? You can easily and quickly execute the defects code and you will be able to identify and find the issues easily. Any question?
I can understand this continuous integration tools means how they act, how they proceed. I mean, how they work in system.
Okay, and that's a very good question. Paint. So in here, what I will do, I'm using a tool, yes,
Okay.
where I will call it a library or repository. Yeah, or you can understand by library. You can store everything. Yes,
Yes.
there are people working. Yes,
Yeah.
these are five people working.
Okay.
So this is called a master. Okay, somewhere everything is there, master. But they are not work. They can't work in the master. If they work and if anything goes wrong, everything will be messed up. Yes.
Yes.
So what happens in this case? They work in their own branch. This is branch A, branch B, branch C, branch D, branch E. So these people they are working on that locally separate branch, separate area where they are coding. Yes. So in this case, this guy A who is working on branch A, when this code is complete and unit testing is done, all other required testing is done, this person will change, merge this change to this continuous integration, send this code to this specific repository. Okay. In this specific repository, we will do some testing, and then if we are happy, sometimes low level happy, they will merge it. Then it will be merged as a master. It will be even in the, you can store them as in a branch as well. And after branch satisfaction, you merge into the this is a repository in a master branch, you can say. So it's
Yeah.
merge code to the overall all other areas. Like you have a road. Yes,
Yeah.
that road is continuous integration, you can say. The road is moving like this. Why I thought that it will come something. Yes, yeah, somewhere like this. Oh, yes. So this is road there, and then someone is coming and joining this road here, joining this road here. Yes,
Yeah.
they join it. So this is called continuous integration. This is the example. This is the main road. People are integrating to the main, and this main everything is maintained up to date. Yes.
Okay. So main activity, others activity will join it.
Yes, and then join. Join means merge is the word. Yes. So
Merge
you
it in.
integrate it in here and it will join the flow, the correct flow.
Okay.
Any other question?
No. Thank you.
Let's go to the next one. Yes. Or shall I explain these tools in little bit detail?
Hmm?
Continuous integration tools.
Yeah.
Do you want me to explain you again?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you go by this word itself, what is continuous integration? Then you can see continuous integration is a practice of merging all developers working copies to a shared main line several times a day. Yes. So I go to this example. This is the main shared repository. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
These different developers they are merging their code continuously here. Yes.
Yes.
Let me put. And what they are doing, they are continuously merging it. It is not that they are doing today and they will do after 10 days. No. As soon as they do some work and they are happy, then they will merge to the main repository, and they will do it several times a day. And when they do this several times a day, this will become continuous integration.
Okay.
And there will be multiple contributors. There can be multiple contributions and multiple contributors. Tools like, when you want to say tools like, as I say, Jenkins, TeamCity, Bamboo, Conscourse, Buddy, GitLab, CI, yes,
Yeah.
Circle, Travis, SEI. So many tools are used to merge the developer's code multiple times in a day. So the code can be easily maintained and it becomes easy.
Yes.
It is also known as continuous delivery and continuous deployment, because what we are doing, we are integrating or deliver it and deploy the code to the main branch several times a day. In continuous integration, you will ensure that individual code changes are suitable for inclusions in the code based and merge in successfully. So before the code is merged, some testing is done, some satisfaction criteria should have been done. Yes.
Yeah.
Continuous delivery assembles your product, automatically testing the quality and functionality along the way, and produces deliverables that are proven to be deployable. Yes. Whenever you merge the code, whenever you make any changes, you need to prove this code is deployable. There is no bug or there is no issue. Yes.
Okay.
This
Yes.
continuous deployment simplifies releasing the product to the customers. So these developers, they are merging their code to the main branch or the main repository several times a day. And that's why it becomes easy to release to the customer, because we are continuously changing. They are testing, not changing, testing. They are testing, merging. Then the proper testers, I would say, proper means professional tester, they will test it and it verify, okay, everything is fine, then it becomes easy to release the product, whether it is in cloud or downloadable format, but it becomes easy when it comes to releasing the product to the customers. Yes. Any question?
No.
Although the implementation can be different from organization to organization, okay,
Yes.
but these processes are necessary to ensure that software is released frequently, reliably, with a high quality.
Yeah.
So you are integrating testing, merging testing, merging testing, merging testing, so you can have easy quick release. Any question?
No.
Let's move to the next. Configuration management tool. Can you explain this?
Configuration management tools.
Yes,
No.
I have just explained you.
I know, but I confusing configuration.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay, so what is this configuration management? This tool stores, simple, it does not do anything, it stores the deliverables.
I
Yes.
mean,
Whatever products and everything you are delivering, it stores information about deliverables. It is better to say stores the information about the deliverables. So how? As for example, you have the test plan. This is an example, yes,
Okay.
is a deliverable. So the test plan document will be stored with version numbers. Yes.
Yeah.
So actually what this tool does, versions of the software stores information about the versions of software. So when the build is delivered, the software is delivered, you can store build 1, build 1.1, build 1.2. Yes, so you can, instead of build, you can use a software. Yes.
Yeah.
All other documents and everything you have deliverables, they are known as testwares. Yes. So you can
Yeah.
store the versions of testware.
Yeah.
Test plan version 1, test plan version 1.1, test plan version 2, something like this. Yes. These tools are useful when configuring different environments. These tools are used to configure different environments, not particularly useful when we are configuring different environments. When we are using different environments, that time we will use when you have the database version 1, database version 2, this UI some functionality version 1, UI functionality 2, etc. etc. Yes.
Yeah.
Simple, you can understand configuration management tools is storing deliverables by version numbers. Yes.
Yes.
Now the next question is review tools. Are you able to explain review tools? We have discussed
No.
in detail about the review.
No review.
So what are the review? What is the purpose of review tool? What is review? You, if you know what is review, then you get the answer. So review tools store
Or
information about review process guidelines. Yes, review process guidelines. If you are using for informal review, then
yeah,
it will
in
have the guidelines of informal review.
yeah, walk through
If we
technical.
are using walkthrough, then it will
Yes.
have walkthrough process guideline.
Yeah.
If we are using
In technical.
technical review, then it will have guidelines of technical review. And if you are using inspection, then it will have inspection guidelines. Yes. Checklist, it's also store the checklist, what you need to cover and how. Yes.
Yes.
This review tool also store and communicate review comments. When you are reviewing any documents, you might have passed some comments as a tester. So it stores this review comments. Reports on defects. It stores the reports. Defect reports means, yes. For the reviews only. When during reviews, you must have generated some defects reports.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Next, reports on effort expended. If you have any reports, how much effort expended, yes, then they are stored there. Add online reviews. If we are doing online reviews through multiple locations, then these review tools are helpful. In what case, if you have a large team, for large teams, if the teams are bigger, then you can use online review tools. So you don't need to get together in a meeting. Yeah, meeting room means, because team is big and the meeting rooms might be small.
Okay.
Yes. For disperse geographically, disperse teams. When the teams are geographically dispersed, you can use these tools. And these tools are used so that you can maintain and manage your reviews. If you do it online, this review management tool.
Yeah.
Any question?
No.
Next one, tool for static testing. Tools for static testing. What is static testing? Can you explain?
S- Static.
Yes, if you use tool for static testing, this will become static analysis tool. Okay, tools for static testing, and if you use these tools to support your static testing, this will become static analysis. So now my question to you is, what is static testing?
Documentation.
Documentation is not static testing.
Testing of document.
Yes, testing the documentations or documents. You just say documentations, but you
No.
missed this. Yes,
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah.
Next, not in that, the enforcement of coding standards. Did we discuss this one? The static analysis tools are used for the enforcement of coding standard. Coding standard. Like you can say missing variables. No, not missing variables. Undefined variables, undeclared variable you are using. So inefficiency in variables. Do you remember?
Inefficient.
If
Yes.
these developers are not following the coding standards, then we can find them out. Yes, these coding, etc. So enforcement of coding standards.
Okay.
Analysis of structure and dependencies. What, how, what is the structure of our code? So we can say analysis of the structures and dependencies. Yes,
Yes.
in the code you can find it out. How, what is the structure and what are the dependencies we have used? So we can identify and maintain. Compilers offer support for static analysis. Compilers offer support. So any test code compiler tool you use that can be used for static analysis, like if my Eclipse is open, so I can use Eclipse for static analysis and that will become static. Any, you say online compilers for Java, if you Google it, any tool you use, it will enforce the coding standard. It will identify if you have any compile time error.
Okay.
It will tell you straight away. Let's go to the next. Test design tool. There are some tools available. You can use them to design your test cases. Okay.
Yeah.
And these tools are known as test design tools. You
When
will,
we design the test.
can you repeat?
When we design the test.
Yes, these tools are used to design the test cases. Then you will say, why do we need testers to design if the tools are available? Yes, correct question.
Yes.
Then there should be testers only. to use those tools. These tools are not going to automatically work. Yes, there should be
Yes.
someone who can use the tools or a tool.
Yes.
So that's why you can say that
We need to.
testers will always be there. So the test design tools. So what these test design tools are used for? Yes. So what you have requirements. Yes.
Yeah.
These tools are used for designing the test cases. Designing the test cases. So how they can you can design the test cases? So you can say you have requirements. Yes. From where you can design the test cases? So first requirements. You have GUI guide design. You have some design model. Yes. And you have source code. These are the informations you have. From these informations you most of the time design the test cases. Yes.
Yeah.
So these informations you pass in a tool called design tool,
Okay.
and this design tool will give you output. These outputs can be test output, what you need, and executable test cases. If this information you passed is incorrect, then the information and the test cases will be incorrect. So what you show, you shall repair in the same way. What you are giving based on your input, you are going to get the output.
Okay.
Any question?
No.
Next tool is test data preparation tool. So there are n number of tools used for test data preparation. So you can use one of the tool to prepare your the data. Yeah.
Yes.
When you execute the test cases, you will end up using some data. Without data, the data you cannot have expected result. Yes. What you are passing, and based on that you are having the output. So 2 plus 2 equals 4. So 2 is your data, 2 is another, plus and 4. They all your test data. Yes.
Yeah.
So this needs. So for example, if you need 1 million email addresses, there are you going to prepare 1 million email addresses manually? No, you need to use tools to prepare these random email addresses. So what you have data called live database, and you have data specification. You pass these two informations to this data preparation tool, and these tools will give you output, and the output would be test data. Yes,
Yeah.
if you just Google it, it will give you test data preparation tools, test data preparation tools. Then you will have n number of tools name. Yes, it should give you here. See 10 best data preparation tools
Yes.
for software testing. So you can see Altair. Yes, these are the tools you can see. So you can see they look like a little bit like Eclipse. Yes,
Yeah.
like standard kind of tools. Yes, so you
Yes.
give some information in here based on the specification you are going to use, and then this will give you some data in the output. These tools are known as test data preparation tools.
Yes.
Any question?
No.